which to young people might as well be stone tablets, it seems so. And they can sit there and go, my goodness, look at that, look how bad it was. And yet what we forget is that when that stuff was actually happening, not on the History Channel, but on the nightly news, when that stuff was happening not as a retrospective, but as a daily reality, the vast majority of white Americans did not, in fact, believe that we had a problem. How do I know that? Very simply, because the Gallup polling at the time tells me that. See, nowadays, we look back and we believe that everybody was down with the movement. And everybody can tell you they marched with Dr. King. I've had people tell me they marched with Dr. King who would have only been about 4 months in their mama's womb by the time that march happened. So I don't think they were there. If everybody said they marched with Dr. King and marched with Dr. King, we wouldn't have to be having this conversation. So somebody is lying. Not only were folks not by and large marching, most people didn't see the need to march. In 1963, the Gallup organization did a poll. They asked a large representative cross-sample of white America, do you believe that racial minorities, the term that they used in the question, do you believe that racial minorities are treated equally in your community in housing, employment, and education? Now, before I tell you what white folks said, let me remind you what 1963 was. That was when apartheid was old school. That was when it was systematized throughout every aspect of the culture. That was a high watermark of the struggle, the year of the March on Washington. 225,000 folks on the Mall in D.C. August 28th. If y'all have ever been to D.C. in late August, you know that people don't just go there and march for the hell of it. They must have something that they're upset about. It is hot. So there it is, the high watermark of the movement. That is the year that Medgar Evers is shot down dead in his driveway in Jackson, Mississippi by a Klansman. That is the year that George Wallace stands in the schoolhouse door and says segregation today, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. That is the year of the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham and the killing of those 4 little girls. That is the year in which Bull Connor turned his tanks and his dogs on the children of that city. It is a year in which every single night on the news you could see racism up close and personal. You could see apartheid in all of its glory, and yet, when Gallup asked white folks, do you think that racial minorities are treated equally in your community? In that same year, 2 out of 3 white folks said yes.